Hello everyone, this is Rose. Today's topic from the Book of Life is Old School Player. What would you do when your great granddaddy, who is an old school player, flirts with your friend's mother? Let's take a look at this short story from the Book of Life. Martha and Robert have been married for 65 years. Both in their mid-80s have learned to master the acceptance of each other for better or worse. They learned to just accept each other. Robert started courting Martha during their senior year in high school. For those younger than 40, courting is the same as dating. At the age of 18, after Martha became pregnant, the two got married upon the strong request of their parents in conjunction with the click of Martha's father's shotgun. Martha and Robert liked each other but was not in love with each other. They got married in the era of what love got to do with it? It's a family thing. Together, Martha and Robert have 8 kids, 12 grandkids, and 5 great-grandkids. Robert, old school player, has 2 kids with his longtime girlfriend, Bertha. With Bertha, Robert has 4 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids. Although Martha's navigation through life has been in alignment with the changes of time, Robert hasn't been able to move past the late 60s, early 70s era. He no longer drives, yet he still has his 1970 deuce and a quarter, also known as an Electra 225, parked in his garage. Robert would drive his powder blue Electra 225 convertible Buick Cadillac up and down the street back in the early 70s, going nowhere. Sometimes Bertha would be in the passenger seat feeling like a queen, not caring that he never invited her to his home or asked for her to marry him. She was just happy to be with Robert, the love of her life. In Robert's youthful days, he worked in a factory assembling cars. At night, he worked as a janitor cleaning office buildings. Robert's paycheck as an assembly worker went to Martha for their household. He received a $5 per week allowance. Half his check as a janitor went to Bertha. The other half covered his play toys, such as his Electra 225. Martha always knew about Bertha, but did not care as long as Robert brought his check home to her. Martha protected their kids from Robert's long-time affair with Bertha by moving her family on the other side of town. Martha was a dignified, church-going woman. She raised their kids to respect elders and to value education. Martha and Robert kids all graduated from a 2-year community college. Some went further to graduate from a 4-year university. Each child married their longtime mate, found professional jobs in corporate America, and sent their kids to college. Bertha worked full-time in a cleaners and part-time in a bar as a cocktail girl. Bertha's kids barely finished high school. Robert, being 15 years older than Bertha, loved her high-energy party girl attitude. Bertha always lived in the now, not worrying about tomorrow. She raised her 2 sons to live in the now. Both did not move out of their mom's home until they were in their mid-30s. From their mom's home, they moved into their girlfriend's home. Neither of the sons, and this is Bertha's sons, has been married, still living with their girlfriends. Robert Jr., eldest daughter, Portia, who is now 35 years of age, gave birth 18 years ago to Robert Sr. and Bertha's first great-granddaughter, Mercedes. Mercedes is graduating from high school in a week. Her mom, Portia, is throwing her a graduation party and would like for all generations of family to be present. The party will be held in the backyard of Robert's Jr. gated duplex apartment building. Portia fixes the backyard up with rental chairs and table. White Christmas lights streaming around the top of the table's umbrella. She set up a bar table for everyone who would like to purchase an alcoholic drink. Her cousin Capone will DJ the latest hits. Bertha is catering the food. She has been frying chicken and making spaghetti all day. Robert Jr. is responsible for picking up the potato salad, dinner rolls, and cake from the local supermarket. Punch made of High C and 7-Up will be served to all under 21. It's party time. Robert Sr. shows up in a powder blue 3-piece polyester bell-bottom suit. His 1970 white ruffled tuxedo shirt matches his white patent leather alligator shoes. After everyone arrives, Portia takes the mic from Capone to acknowledge and congratulate her daughter, Mercedes. Everyone YOLOs their congratulation in unison. Portia yells, "Okay, DJ, let's get this party started." Everyone was enjoying themselves, eating, drinking, and dancing. Robert Sr. shows off a stack of $1 bills to Mercedes' friends' moms. Robert Sr. invited the moms to play a game. The game is called If You're Single and You Know It, Raise Your Hand. One mom asks the purpose of the game. Robert Sr. proudly says, with a grin on his face, a monetary prize is given to the hands that are raised. A couple of women raise their hands. Robert Sr. hands each mom whose hand was raised 5 single-dollar bills. The moms laughed as they walked off to mingle with other guests. Robert Sr. begins to flirt with the women who had raised their hand. From afar, Betty, one of Mercedes' friends' grandmother, was watching Robert Sr. She thought to herself, why is Mother Martha's husband at this graduation party? She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Her thoughts were racing a mile per minute. I know he never officially joined the church, thought Bertha. However, he would come on occasions with his wife. Mother Martha, a dedicated servant of the Lord, served as president over the Mothers Board for 15 years before she retired. Betty decided she was going to get to the bottom of why Robert Sr. was at the party making a fool of himself. And as a good Christian friend, she decided that she was going to report her findings to Mother Martha. Betty asked one of the ladies who received $5, why they raised their hands and why was she giving money. She also wanted to know who invited the man giving away the money. Betty almost fell to her knees as the lady replied, "He is Mercedes' great-grandfather." Betty was so startled by the information, she became weak. The lady grabbed Betty by the arms so that she wouldn't fall. After helping her to a seat, she gave her a drink of punch. As Betty sat, her thoughts raced to Mercedes' family. Now, thought Betty, my granddaughter told me that Mercedes' mom name is Portia, and Portia's father name is Robert Jr. Betty began to cough like she was choking on punch. Someone asked her if she was okay. "Yes," replied Betty. "No," thought Betty. "Mother's Martha's husband cannot be the father of Robert Jr." Betty had to find out for sure before she took this information to Mother Martha. After regaining her strength, Betty approaches Robert Jr. "Hi, Robert. I would like to thank you for inviting my granddaughter. Although my granddaughter is 5 years older than Mercedes, they are good friends. The party is nice. Someone told me your mom is here. Is your dad here also?" "Yes," replied Robert Jr. "Let me introduce you to my parents." Robert Jr. calls over his mom, Bertha, and his dad. "Mom, Dad, I would like you to meet Miss Betty. She is one of Mercedes' friends' grandmother." Betty stared at Robert Sr. as she says hello, then proceeded to say to Robert Sr. directly, "You can be my friend's husband, identical twin." "Oh yeah," replied Robert. "What is your friend's husband's name? Maybe we are related." Betty chuckled as she replied, "His name is Robert." Robert almost choked as he stared at Betty, trying to remember if he'd seen her somewhere. Betty continued to talk. "My friend Martha and her husband Robert have been married for 65 years and have 8 kids together, one of whom is also named Robert Jr. I'm sure it's not you, because my friend Martha's husband used to work in a factory assembling cars during the day. He had a second job at night cleaning office buildings as a janitor. For years, he drove a powder blue convertible electric 225 Buick Cadillac. So I know this can't be you." Bertha looks at Robert Sr. Her face turns red. She began to beat on Robert Sr.'s chest while shouting, "All these years, I wonder why you did not marry me, but I never asked. All these years, I've been faithful to you. All these years, you never wanted to live with me. Now I know it's because you were already married with kids. How could you do this to me?" Robert Jr., in shock, pulled his mom off his dad. He was speechless. Why do you think Betty never asked Robert Sr. any questions about his life throughout the years of them dating? Why do you think she is so surprised about Robert Sr. being married with kids? Do you think Betty is wrong in how she handled this situation? Please click on the subscribe button to receive notifications of more articles from the Book of Life. Be blessed and safe. Peace.